you are in the right place if you have been building your business and you've been showing up for everybody else. You're doing all the things. You're a business owner, or you're a coach, or an entrepreneur, you're a parent, you're a partner, and you are doing all the things. And you're wondering, does it ever get easier? Is it always going to be like this? Is it so hard? Do I have to continue giving to everybody else and grow my business from this hustle culture that everybody talks about? And what I want to tell you is that's not the way to do it. What I believe is that when you can create a life you love and your business from this place of overflow, where you actually get to give in more kind, loving, generous ways because you take care of yourself, that is when the true magic can happen. So I've got a coffee cup here. One of the women in my community, she lives in Trinidad, and she gave me this cup, and it says, "Relax, you're on beach time." Imagine this coffee cup right here had a saucer on it. And you keep your cup so full to the overflow. What the overflow effect is actually being able to give out of that overflow, so that you give and it doesn't deplete you, and you're able to still take care of yourself. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. You can actually grow your business faster, better, stronger. And not only your business, but every part of your life can be better when you operate from overflow. Let's just take a minute to acknowledge the fact that you're very good at showing up for everybody else. How do I know? Yeah, because I have lived it. And you have your team. If you have a team for your business, your clients, your family, you have mastered the art of juggling all the balls or holding it all together. And what I want to ask you is, what do you do for you? What do you do for you? I just got done doing a micro interview with a woman, and she's talking about just 5 minutes just for yourself. And I know, even though I teach this, it's really hard sometimes to do that thing. Sometimes do you feel like you're guilty for taking that time for you, or behind? Or this is one that I deal with a lot. If you stop doing all the things, that the world around you is going to collapse. If you don't do it, nobody else will. And especially when you're a business owner, coach, entrepreneur, and you're trying to do all the things in addition to just life, it's really important to figure out how you can actually live in a way that'll sustain you and help you grow in a way that you can do long term. Because what good is building a business if you can't sustain it? Because then you crash and burn. And that's not good for you. That's not good for your team, your clients, your vendors. That's not good for anybody. Before we go any further, I want to introduce myself and tell you who I am and why this message matters to me. Why does living in gratitude and the overflow effect and creating a life you love, why does it matter to me? I have been on a healing journey for the last 10 years, and I went from a place of self-hate to truly creating a life and a business that I love. And so now I'm really excited to be able to share what I do. And later in this video, in this lesson, I'm actually going to tell you exactly what I would do if I had $0 to start over. And I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. And then if you want to get some other free resources, you can use the link that I put on the description here to get access to it. I was operating out of a place that a lot of people don't get to, right? The self-hate is an extreme form of this, that you can deal with the same types of things if you're dealing with being a people pleaser or codependency, or there's a million other things. So I want you to think about, in your life, when you do something, do you do it because you want to do it, or because you think everybody else expects you to do it, or because you think you have to do it? What part of your life are you living just for you? And let me just address maybe what might be the elephant in the room, is that self-love is not selfish. Like we are taught, self-sacrifice is to be revered and honored, and that we're taught to give and give. And then you're like, can you give some more? Your cup is not only is it empty, it's like there's nothing in it, not even a drop. And you're still trying to give to other people. And so what I want you to know is that taking care of yourself, especially if you're running a business, it is critical. As I've gone on this healing journey, Safe Heart Connections, my online community group for women, has ebbed and changed and evolved into some different things. And what I recognize is, for a long time, I was teaching, what I would say is that I work with women who are working on creating a life that they love, one choice at a time. And that's 100% true. But what I have found is that I really connect with the female founders, coaches, entrepreneurs, because that's who I am. And yeah, it's part of who I am. So I really connect with these women, And what I understand is I want them to create this life that they love, but what they want is to grow their business. And so the disconnect is there. And so now what we do is I do both. Because I have this business brain that allows me to help in so many different ways, I work with women now to help them grow a business that loves them back while honoring their energy. So they can build their business, which is really important because building your business not only takes care of you, but it also takes care of the world. Because when you show up in the way that you're meant to show up, that's when the magic happens, right? So we want more of that. Show up as you. And as you're growing your business, I can actually help you build in this overflow effect, right? These moments that allow you to keep your cup so full to the overflow that you're able to give in those kind, living, generous ways. And so I want to show you how that's possible for you today. And guys, I know there's guys here. I see you. I'm glad you're here. Most of the things I do are typically focused just on women, and I want you to know that everything I'm talking about is something that you need as well. This is not something that's just for women. This is something for humanity. I'm just personally called to work with women. What I want to show you today is very simple, but it's powerful. Putting yourself first will allow you to accelerate and go faster. And like I said, build your business faster, stronger, better, and you'll be able to have the impact that you were meant to have in the world. This doesn't slow you down. It actually helps you be set up for success. I said it doesn't slow you down, but there is a concept out there. Maybe you've heard it. I've heard people talk about it for a long time. It's called slow down to go fast. And so if you want to go faster, sometimes you have to slow down and evaluate and adjust and figure things out. So maybe this is part of that. And so my prayer, my hope, my wish is to help you understand, yes, you, if you're watching right now, this is for you. Hustle is not your friend. Overflow is. Overflow is greater than hustle. And when you can start to believe that and take those few moments a day that are just for you to create this life that you love, to take that moment, it's just a moment. Literally, I'm going to be telling you something that I call the 7-minute gratitude blueprint. 7 minutes a day. It's all it takes, a few minutes in the morning, a few minutes in the evening, and you're able to set yourself up to build. It's the first step to creating this life of overflow that will allow you to grow your business, your life, everything else better. And you won't just feel better, but you'll build better as well. Here's why I think so many high-achieving, purpose-driven entrepreneurs, coaches, business owners feel stuck. Because they're running on fumes. You're empty, but you're still giving. Does that sound familiar? I was on a podcast. It's been about a month or so ago now. One of the things I also teach is that you are worthy because you are, not because of anything you say, do, or don't do. You are worthy, hard stop in the story, period, because you exist. And the guy interviewing me said, why do you think that is? Why do you think that we believe that we're worthy because we do? And this is a really great example. And I hadn't thought about it before this. This wasn't a planned thing, but this was my answer. And I would love to know if it resonates with you. Imagine if you're a parent or a grandparent, or you probably don't remember doing this as a kid yourself because you were too little, but when you as a parent or a grandparent or aunt or uncle or whatever, you give your kid a bite to eat and they actually take it in instead of spitting it out, what do? Good job, little Johnny. Good job. Or they walk. They start walking and everybody freaks out. You did that. You're getting rewarded. So from a very early age, we are conditioned to believe that we did something, so we are worth something. It's just part of it. Nothing nefarious going on in the background. Our parents aren't trying to make something bad happen. It's just part of how we're conditioned. And so when you can start to operate out of the place where you are worthy because you are, your life will be different. It just will. And you've been doing this for so long. You know that you want the peace. You want to not live in chaos. You know that you've started to believe that, oh my goodness, overflow is better than hustle, but you're still worried. You're still thinking, oh no, if I slow down, it's going to cost me my momentum. It's going to cost me getting to that next thing, or I won't be able to do as much. But that's just not the truth. And you're sold on these strategies to continue to do and be and grow and have and give, but none of it addresses your energy in your life and who you really are. And because so many of these things are, you're focused on growing your business, which is really good, you forget that you're a human. And so that's part of the overflow effect, is to help you remember you're a human. You're not like ChatGPT. You're not AI, and you can't just go and go and go and go. You're a human. Honor yourself. Take the time to slow down and do something just for you. I've mentioned overflow a lot already, but I want to tell you what it means to me. I've already said you build better, stronger. Everything is better, but you're going to feel more rested because you are. Your clarity and creativity are going to be sparking. And you're going to be like, where are all those ideas coming from? You're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Huh, that's interesting. You'll be doing things that allow you to operate out of what you're good at and what you love, because you're creating a life you love. And that just there's a spiral. We always talk about, maybe you don't, but I've heard, because of living a life of recovery and going from self-hate to self-love, that you have these negative spirals. If something happens, you're triggered and you go down this negative spiral. And it's true. The overflow effect allows you to create this spiral going up and up and up. And it's not some woo-woo, like fluffy kind of thing. This is something that actually works. And I've seen it happen with a lot of the women in my community and myself for sure. Here's what happens when you step into overflow, not hustle. You can start making decisions from clarity, not panic. That would be different. You become magnetic because your energy just feels safe. You'll be magnetic to the people that are ideal clients for you. Your messaging will be more on point and on brand. You'll be able to connect with them because you're creating from this different space. You stop hustling for attention. I'm going to just sit with that for a second. You stop hustling for attention. Because you don't need the attention. You're going to be drawing the right people to you just by showing up as your true self. And overflow isn't just good for your soul. It's good for your family. It's good for your friends. It's good for every relationship, every connection you have in your life, including your business. And so I'm going to get to the 7-minute gratitude blueprint in just a couple minutes, where we'll talk about what that is. And I will give you everything you need, and you can be ready to write down what it is. If you want to I have an actual document that you can get where you can take some notes and stuff in the community. The link's on the top of this video, where you can go in and join the community and get access to some of these things that's more in depth. But I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know. There's 3 lies that I think that we typically believe, as women specifically. I know this probably happens to men as well. But the first one is, if it's easy, it doesn't count. Success means sacrifice. To be successful, you have to sacrifice. And that the third one that really gets to me is, rest is a reward, not a requirement. And I just want to tell you, that is not the truth. That sounds more like trauma disguised as success. And I've done the trauma again. I'm not doing it anymore. And I don't want you to either. So what I'd like you to do right now is, we're just going to go through a process where I'm going to invite you to slow down and to listen. I want you to wonder and feel like and imagine what it feels like to be energized while growing your business. I want you to imagine having space for you in your own day, not just everybody else. And I want you to imagine enjoying visibility and connection as a way for true connection, not just for the attention. That's the overflow effect. And it's available for you. I want to guide you through just a gentle meditation, and it'll just take a couple of minutes. And so if you're able, I'd like you to really lean into this moment, this pause. And if you're able to, close your eyes. When I do this with my women, I always like to remind them that closing your eyes doesn't make it special, doesn't make it magical. For me, it just allows me to not focus on what's happening around me. It allows me to just really focus on the internal. And so if you're able to, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And then I'm going to have this meditation that I'm actually going to read just to make sure I get all the things that I want. And so if you think I'm reading this right now, I am. And so wherever you're at right now, let's pause. If your legs are crossed, consider uncrossing them. Soften your shoulders. Close your eyes if you feel safe to. Take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. One more time. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And then consider this question. What are three things that I love? Could be people, places, or things. Anything that comes to mind. You don't have to force any answers. Just when you consider the question, what are three things you love? Now that you have those three things in mind, I'd invite you to feel them. Really feel them. Be thankful for them. And when you're ready, I'd like you to come back here, the video, and if you're able to, and you'd like to, I'd invite you to put your three things in the chat. You don't have to, but I'm going to give you space to be able to do that if you'd like. I have a really important question. If you're still watching, it's really important, and it's really at the heart of everything I do. Did you put yourself on the list? Most women don't. But what if you put yourself on the list and you started to build a life that you loved? It really does start by loving yourself first. All right, we're going to get to it now. The 7-minute gratitude blueprint. Let me tell you what it is if you want to take notes. It's 2 times a day. So in the morning when you get up and the evening before you go to bed. And it's so simple. Just spend a couple minutes, 3-4 minutes in the morning, and write down the 3 things you're thankful for that day. You can big, small. And I would say not just I'm thankful for my family, but if you are thankful for your family, that's cool. That's good. But I would say if you're going to do that one, why? Why are you thankful for your family? It could be something as simple as enjoying your coffee in the morning. It could be hearing the birds chirp outside. It could be I just got a walking pad. We live in a small space, and I got a walking pad, so I can actually start getting some more movement in because I'm working on that part of my life. So I'm really thankful for the walking pad. 3 things you're thankful for. And then I know as business owners, just people in general, we have a million things to do every day, right? I want you to write down the 3 top things you have to do that day. Because if you're like me, I get overwhelmed before I even start the day thinking about my calendar. And so the 3 things that you know that when you do them, they will help you move forward in your life or your business. And bonus points, if you put one of those things on your list is for you, that would be a beautiful thing, right? So in the morning, it's the 3 things you're thankful for and your 3 top to-dos. At the end of the day, and I want to make sure I mention this book. It's called The Gap in the Game. It is my favorite book, and I learned this process from them. And that is part of it's so important that it's really part of what I teach now. And it's writing down your 3 wins from the day, big or small. Remember, it's not about an achievement. It's about acknowledgement. It's about acknowledging what happened, and celebrating the wins, the small wins. Like for me today, I did my 5 minutes on the walking pad, just testing it out. That's a big win, right? And acknowledge those wins. But here is the trick that a lot of people don't think about doing is write down the 3 wins you think you're going to have the next day. And the reason that's important is because it's future pacing to think about the day ahead. But also, as you're going to bed, and that's the last thing you're ruminating on, is your wins from the day, what you think your wins are going to be the next day. And then you start the next day with gratitude. Again, you continue this cycle. You cannot be grateful and in fear at the same time. And so this really is the heart of creating a life that you love. And it allows you to build this business that loves you back. And so it's just amazing. So when you go to bed at night and that's what you're thinking about, your brain is ruminating on that as you sleep all night long and you wake up with gratitude is your first thing. Tell you, try it. Just try it. Do it for 7 days and just try it and see if you start to notice some shifts in your mindset. And it doesn't take long, 7 minutes a day. That's all it takes. And I would love to hear how that works for you. I am working on something called 4 shifts to build your business to love you back in a way that honors your energy. It's 4 short lessons. They're all less than 10 minutes. And they'll give you some simple tools, some reflections. I mentioned the 7-minute gratitude blueprint in there too. And then that's going to allow you to really set the foundation for building this business that loves you back. And it's available free. I'm not going to charge you anything for it. And here's the really cool thing. When you do it within 5 days, you're going to get a 20-minute overflow effect experience. This is going to be something that's going to help you integrate what you learned. You'll have it to listen on repeat. Anytime you're going through something and you just need to have that pause and reset, you'll have access to that. So it's a really cool bonus. It's not going to be available anywhere else. And I would love for you to be able to get that. So the link at the top of this video, it has the link to join the community. And we would love to welcome you there. We have a great group of women that participate, that show up, and that are working on creating this life that they love. I want to just go back as I get ready to close. I want to go back and just ask you the question from earlier. What do you love? What do you love? And what would change if you made sure that you were on the list every day? You don't have to overhaul everything. You really don't. It can be as simple as just one little thing. Just take one step back towards yourself and to make a new choice. You get to choose. You get to create a life you love one choice at a time. And that is the overflow effect. That's how your business can grow, how you can live in a place of joy and peace and clarity, and they all rise together. Everything builds on each other, and it's so intertwined. If you're having trouble in your business, I know from personal experience, it's usually something going on with me, right? And so if you're ready to learn how you can start to live in overflow, I'd love to welcome you in the community. If you're not ready to join the community, you're not ready for the 4-lesson reset or the 7-minute blueprint, but you still would like to connect with me, feel free to send me a message. I would love to connect and to chat with you. If your ideal clients are women, I actually host these micro interviews. They're free, not trying to sell you anything on that. If you are a coach, business owner, founder, and we typically do these only with women, sorry guys, but if you have a message you'd like to share and get connected to my audience, send me a message that says you want to learn more about the micro interviews, and I'd be happy to interview you and share you with my people, because I know that I'm really good at what I do, but I'm not all things to all people, and I want to have really great connections. That's part of the name, Safe Heart Connections, right? And so I want to be able to help connect my women with other great resources. So if I can help you with anything, please reach out to me. As I close, this is something I'm becoming known for. I want to give you just a gentle reminder that your voice matters, the world needs you, and you are loved. Have a great day.